Hi, Tim. Good morning.
He said,
So nice sunny Friday here. So I guess the same on your side, huh?
absolutely. Yeah. Sun is shining. Good
So,
mood.
but you have been traveling this week or last week.
Yeah. This both. This week was customer on-site visits. Yeah, which is always enlightening and interesting. And last week I attended an open text conference. Went to the one in London. So that was also very interesting. Put it a little bit in the context of what both you and I learned when we were in Las Vegas in the open text world. So this was a continuation. So there's
So what?
a continued focus on the AI, yeah, information management as a solid foundation for AI. More, let's say, concrete cases that were shown on AI use cases in area of, let's say, HR and others. I joined in a very interesting um, breakout around analytics and also analytics on unstructured content. Again, in that context of having, a solid AI foundation. That was super interesting. And then, from the partner angle side, big growth with SAP, OpenText SAP, and Turnpikes. So that's, happy music to my ears because those are the two main software, let's say, um, partners that we engage with. So that's still going. And then, yeah, some of the, upcoming also new things around, for example, Google. Yeah, so OpenText Google partnership with GCP, both I think in context of AI, but also around Google Workspace and content management in that area. So that's also very exciting.
Very very interesting, Tim, because recently in the last few weeks and months, I have seen this happening on the field. Now you mentioned SAP and you mentioned cloud, you mentioned
Mm-hmm.
AI. All this is coming together in our work every day with the S4 HANA and RISE. So when we are implementing our invoice management solutions in RISE, this is making us rethink things, yeah, in a newer way.
Mm-hmm.
And this all ties to what you saw and heard in open text world. And I also see can confirm this is what I see from the field. Because one thing that has kept me busy or the team busy in the last recent past is doing the S4 HANA implementations, right? Especially Vim on S4 HANA.
Mm-hmm.
Now, classically, SAP has been good as a solution over many decades to make a ERP that is good at its core, but at the same time allow flexibility for the customer to build additional logic, right? In the so-called user exits and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And they were very good at that, right? The software became very good and popular, and customer builds different solutions. And the power of that solution was it was a monolithic structure, right, inside one system.
Mm-hmm.
And then came cloud, and then happened as for HANA. And now the same thing needs to happen in a cloud environment, which means the problem statement still remains the same. You need a good core solution from the software product that is relevant in today's world, meaning more microservices and distributed systems. At the same time, allow customers to have that flexibility to build in their enhancements or extensions, which give them the differentiating factor. Uh, and the way it was done before versus how it is being done today is different. And that is where we see a lot of interesting things merging together.
And what's the difference? What's the difference?
The difference, in a nutshell, if I would say, is in the ECC world, in the old, let's say, SAP extension, as we used to call it, this was all done in a box using the extension tools that were available for SAP. So the shift, in other words, is from a monolithic architecture to microservice architecture, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
the basically shift. Now the monolithic was in the SAP ECC. The microservices are deployed on SAP BTP platform. Fundamentally, there are four different, let's say, models One
Mm.
is they call what is called the key user extensibility, meaning the reports, yeah, the the, the output. If you
Mm.
had a report, you in a classic ABAP, you could add a field and so on. Now it's more done on the Fiori, right? How do you do the key user adaptability? The other one is called on-stack adaptability, meaning you might need additional functionality to get data from other systems, but instead of doing that in your core SEC box, you do that on microservices, in essence, using Cloud ABAP and other things on SAP BTP, and then integrate the data. And the third model is what they call side-by-side extensibility. There, of course, exists the classic extensibility, which is extension model as we know, right? The ABAP and the classic way of doing things. But in SAP's roadmap, that is the, let's say, the least important thing one should go for if you don't have any other option, and because they want to phase it out. So they are coming here. We hear quite often a terminology clean core,
Mm.
right? A clean core, essentially, what does it mean? I mean, clean core today, it means a philosophy, it means a way of working, it means how you think. Because large organizations is practically impossible that they can shift to a cloud solution with clean core. But with having that mindset of keeping the base functionality separate from your extensions, you can come on a journey where you can merge it. Because if you don't merge all the new things you talk about, right? AI, reporting, analytics, using all the new good old things happening around, you cannot take advantage of that.
Mm.
So by taking this journey, you might start, and that we often see the cases where an implementation is a mix of most, right? Where we have some of the new extensibility, but still are forced to do a lot of old extensibility due to various factors, right? Because we may be technically able to do it, but the landscape is not there, customer is not ready, or other factors that are outside our control. But the idea is these factors which are preventing us today over a short period of time will go away, and then we can reach there.
Mm.
So there's an evolving way out there. So this is very interesting, very interesting. Again, a lot of new things are coming up every day, and I'm learning new things every day,
Mm.
literally. So, but I see a shift. I see a
Mm.
shift in the way things are being thought about, approached, and even the whole approach to building solutions.
Mm. But in essence, we start to get a grip on it, let's say from a pure Vim perspective, on how to deal with
Yeah,
the
I mean,
clean
let me take
core.
exactly,
Uh,
exactly. I mean, there are different ways, right? From a pure Vim perspective, I'm right now evaluating for a couple of customers. How do we implement S4HANA? Now, to be clear, there are two models of S4HANA that we see implementations. One is the brownfield, whereas customers converts their existing system, right, and upgrades to the system and do some code remediation or adjustments. But that's essentially by preserving what they have. Yeah, and there you are not talking about a lot of the first part of the explanation I gave. Then those are the greenfield implementations who are starting fresh with the open canvas, and the reason they are starting with open canvas is they are aware their existing system is too complicated and they want to simplify it. So there the focus is more on clean core and to follow the new way of thinking extensions. So depending
mm.
on which kind of customers you're looking for or you're working with, then your approaches might be different. At the same time, it's important that our thinking should be, clean core first. Meaning any extensions that come up, instead of thinking the classic extension first, we should think, okay, can it be done on the clean core? And due to and the if we don't do one of the core three ones and we end up in classic one, it should be because we have ruled out the first three. It
Mm.
could be because the customer is not ready, doesn't want. It could be the underlying system data structures are not in place or something else. But we should rule out the first three before we go to the fourth one. Because many places I see, it's always the other way around,
Mm.
right? Your default is going with what I know best and works, and then you're forced to do something because someone else is forcing you, because
Mm.
that's the most important thing I see the discussions happening, to have a shift in mindset, in your way of thinking.
Mm. Yeah, there's a few things to, let's say, marry there. Yeah, because you have the process and the view from the business side on how they want the process to be executed, including compliances, right? Then you have the system, the technical system side, and the drivers and the architects with the clean core in mind. Um, and then you have, let's say, the specifics of application, so to speak. Yeah, take the invoice management as one example, as a part of a bigger S4 system.
Now, if I just touch upon lastly, how does it impact Vim implementations, right? Again, as I said, we are doing different kind of discussion. It depends a lot with the customer setup, but some concrete examples can be that today, because for the last many years we are doing inside Classic ABAP, we are forced to do everything in Classic ABAP. Take a report, for example, a custom report or custom program that just collects data and fills up a table like a COA upload report and so on. Those are by default built in ABAP.
Mm,
And today there is no need that they will be ABAP. They can be very well built in BTP.
mm,
Then come some of the scenarios where things are happening inside the workflow itself, a business rule or a logic in your non-PO approval. There we have to again take a nuanced view. And as I said, we are trying to think core clean core first. Meaning if there is a business rule to be called in, right? Or a logic change in the approval workflow, is there a microservice I can build in BTP and call it into a app, or do I still need to do within a app? So we are trying to challenge ourselves and having the customer on board, think along those lines, and then have a good argument of why we cannot do that way.
mm,
And those arguments could be performance, could be system availability, or even licenses for that matter, right? I mean, they might need some component the customer may not have in their bill of material for now, but we have to make sure we rule out those before we say, okay, we keep
mm,
it in the classic app.
mm. Good. And that's also aligned with the clients. This is
I
also
think
what you see from the customer side.
absolutely the
Mm,
very reason they are making this huge investment is they don't want to stay with what they have for the last many years. And and to be very honest, we are all starting the journey, right? I mean, there's no one who has done it before and he says exactly this how it will work. So we are on all this journey together. So in a way, we are partners. We are trying to learn together, think together, challenge each other, and the end, try to build the right solution that we believe in.
good. Very interesting.
Yeah. So no, I mean, I'm glad you went to London and actually saw from the software provider, which I in a way also see happening in the field.
Always good to marry these things.
It's a wonderful way to end our week. This Friday, at least the sun is shining
Mm.
in the morning to compare notes and make to be then ensure that we are actually on the right track.
Mm. I believe we are. We'll at least try to be.
All
So,
right.
thanks a lot for today, Sid.
Thanks
Very
a lot, Tim.
enlightening.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks very much for watching. If you'd like to see more from us, check out other content on our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on social media, or you can visit us at www.turnpikes.pro. Feel free to subscribe to get upcoming notifications of our new content, and we look forward to seeing you very soon.